I love painting red hair, and it's not a color that's really easy to paint or to get the color just right. So today I'll be swatching a whole bunch of red-brown watercolors, and I'll be trying out a new watercolor called Caput Mortuum Violet from Winsor Newton. And I'll be swatching that with a whole bunch of other colors, and we'll see what we come up with. And I used this color in my last watercolor illustration called Crown of Life. That is now on my YouTube channel. Okay, so welcome back to the studio, and I'm going to swatch this new watercolor called Caput Mortuum Violet from Winsor Newton. And I really wanted to try out a completely new watercolor, and it's not a watercolor I would actually buy when I'm first starting out, but I really wanted to try something new, and this brownish color I was really curious about, so here we go. Okay, here's a close-up of it. So it's called Caput Mortuum Violet, and like I said, it's not a color that I would buy right away, but I wanted to try some new watercolors. So this looked like a color that I would probably use mostly for hair color, and this is what it looks like out of the package. So as you can see, it's a really pretty reddish brown with just a tinge of violet in it. All right, so I'm gonna get out my 2 glasses of water and my tear off paint palette and my watercolor paper, a couple of watercolor brushes, and let's get started here. So my first impression of this color, I'm just going to try it out, and this is the most exciting part. Give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. Trying out a new watercolor straight from the package is always exciting. Okay, so I was really impressed. It's a really deep brownish with just a tinge of violet. As you can see, it's a really beautiful deep brown, but as it gets lighter, it's almost like an antique vintage pinkish brown. So I can see this really being nice for maybe like a very subtle cheek color even, or like a deep brown hair color. So just on its own, I really like it. So now I'm very curious. I want to just see how this is going to mix with other colors. Okay, time for some experimentation. So I'm going to take out my madder brown. This is a color from Schminke, and it's a really pretty orangey brown. On its own, it's a very rich, it could actually work for red hair colors, but I still find it a bit bright. On its own, it's great for autumn colors, I guess. It's a very pretty orange. But I want to see how it's going to mix up with the Caput Mortuum Violet. But before I do that, I like to write down my colors directly because I will forget. So I'll just write down the colors on the watercolor paper, and that way this will be a good reference for the future. If I ever want to go back and just see what kind of colors I used for a certain illustration, or I get a lot of people asking me what colors I used, so this is a great reference. All right, so I'm going to mix up the Caput Mortuum Violet with the madder brown and see how that goes. So here we go. All right, so it definitely dulled the madder brown down, which is nice. Yeah, I definitely would use this as a hair color, definitely. And so I'm just going to go back and forth and just, you know, add more of the Caput Violet and then maybe add more of the Madder, and just to see variations of those two colors together. So I'm liking this color. Yes, very good results. I definitely could see this as a very nice hair color, or anywhere where I want an orange, but like not such a bright orange. Okay, so now I'm going to get out my Cap Red hue, and I want to try it out with my new color Caput Mortuum Violet. So this Cap Red is very bright. It's a very vibrant orange, and I mean, I wouldn't really use this color often because I find it a little bit too bright for like my watercolor illustrations. It's just my personal taste. But if I mix it up, let's see now, I'm going to do some experimenting. Let's see if I mix it up with the Caput Violet. Let's just see what that gives me. Wow, it's a very beautiful brownish orangey brown. Very, very pretty. It's almost like a brick orangey brown. So I definitely would use this for something. So I really like that result. And if I just watered it down a bit, as you can see, it becomes more pastel and more soft. So now I'm going to get out the, let me get my reference. This is the Maple Yellows Reddish, Maple Yellow Reddish. This is a color from Schminky. And I'm just very curious now what this will look like with my new Caput Mortuum Violet. So just as like on its own, as you can see, it's a very light porcelain type color. It's really great for skin colors, like a light skin color. Now if I mix it up with the Caput Mortuum Violet. All right, as you can see, it did darken it a lot, and it's a beautiful darker beige. This would be great for a darker skin tone, or anywhere where you want to add shading, possibly a cheek color, or like a light brown hair color. I definitely love this result with those two colors mixed in together. Okay, I'm really curious now how it will tone down my brightest pink. This is Opera Rose. This is from Winsor Newton, and I do have a video on all my favorite pinks. I'll leave it out on the link to check it out afterwards. So as you can see, it's a very beautiful bright pink, and it is beautiful, but I just want to see what will happen when I add the Caput Mortuum Violet to it. This will be interesting. Oh my gosh, already while I'm mixing it on the palette, I already know I'm gonna love it. It's a beautiful burgundy pink, like almost like a Bordeaux. I definitely am going to use this beautiful rose Bordeaux color. This is great for roses, antique roses. I can see anywhere where you just want a beautiful, I guess like it's like a burgundy almost. I definitely love these two colors together. This is a great way to find new colors just by experimenting with different watercolors. As you can see, you can get such beautiful new watercolor shades and colors. Okay, so just to recap, these are all the colors that I've swatched from the color on its own. Then I lightened it with a little bit of water and then mixed it up with other colors. And as you can see, they are all beautiful, all great for either hair colors, skin colors, great for florals. And I definitely am going to use this in my illustration, Crown of Life. So I hope you check that out right after this video. So just to add here, when I do finish my swatching, as you can see, I have all my results. I just take my illustration and I put it against my illustration. Now I'm just trying to figure out which color is going to look best with this illustration. I'm looking at her hair and all the swatches of the hair colors, and I'm trying to just decide which red I'm going to paint her hair. If you want to find out the hair color I painted for her hair, check out my next video. And I do the same for the roses. As you can see, I think this color is going to be beautiful for her roses. I just think the reds and the burgundy red and the rusty burgundy brown just go beautifully together. And yeah, I definitely recommend this color. This color, Caput Mortuum Violet, I would recommend having in your color palette. I think it's a great color to mix for hair colors and skin colors. Well, I really enjoyed color swatching these colors today, and I thank you so much for watching until the end. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next video. Go check out my other watercolor videos, and if you'd like, check out the water illustration Crown of Life. And see you in the next video. Bye!